Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome to my react to Series 2, Episode 2. What the hell was that first episode? Holy! I don't even know where to begin. Oh my goodness. Like, I am stressed already. Oh my god. I don't even know where to begin. We have seen the death of Mish? Mike? They keep changing the pronunciation on me. I thought it was Mike, but apparently it's not Mike. But we saw him die. We saw the Beast Titan speak in full coherent sentences, showed an interest in the ODM gear, took the ODM gear as if he's on some reconnaissance mission to learn more about the devices and technology that humanity is using. Said to him, you know, we reside within the neck, which to me indicates that they're human. We know that Nick knows more about the Titans in the walls than he's letting on. Seem to hint that only those they want to know about the Titans in the walls know, and everybody else is left in the dark about it. We know that the material the Titans in the walls have been sealed in with is the same material that Annie uses to harden her body. So then there's some connection then to Annie. But if Annie snuck in and became a recruit, then to me that symbolizes that maybe where she comes from, they were the original people, that they were the original ones and they built the walls. And maybe they're trying to take it back. Maybe this is a way of rebelling against the king. Maybe the king's a tyrannical dictator. Maybe he's usurped the throne. My head is spinning. This is crazy. This is crazy. You know when people said it gets better from season 1? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. How can it get better than what I've already seen? What I've already seen is a masterpiece. How can it get better? That first episode, just not what I expected. I didn't know what I expected. I thought it would start slow, that it would like build up again. It would ramp up in intensity. Ha 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 ha. No, it did not. What ended up happening was they decided we're going to show you what happened to the other cadets that were left behind during episode 25. We're gonna have the wall be breached, so Titans are now in Wall Rose. We're gonna see Connie's village, but it's probably gonna be really sad because they've come from the south, which is where Connie's village is, which means it's probably already been destroyed and decimated. We're maybe gonna see Sasha's home village. Oh my goodness, I have so many questions. Who is this Beast Titan? Who's he working for? Why are they interested in the gear? Who kicked the wall down? If it's not the Colossal, was it the Beast Titan that breached the wall? There's some indications that I think it is a human because he says, you know, we reside in the nape, which is only something that humans can do when transforming. But at the same time, I'm wondering if he just means, you know, our weakness is the nape. Because why would he be shocked about them speaking the same language if it wasn't a Titan, unless that is indicating that there is another place with another dialect that is not the language they share. It's not the common language they share. It's indicating that there's another dialect being spoken. I don't know. I personally think it's a human and a Titan, but if it's not, then it's like some weird missing link between human and I don't know. I genuinely don't know. This is so wild. I want to get into episode 2. I want to see what happens in episode 2.
その事件の本当の意味を知る者はまだ誰もいなかった。
The horse. This has to be one of the most brutal deaths in this show. Honestly, that I think was the most brutal death the show has had so far. It was so graphic.
巨人がいる壁を巨人が破るかな。
前にもあったろ。俺たちの町が奴らに。
あれは門だった。
アルミ、何を考えてるの？
あの壁ってさ、石のつなぎ目とか 何かが剥がれた跡とかなかったから、どうやって作ったのかわかんなかったんだけど。巨人の効果の能力で作ったんじゃないかな。
エレン、ちゃんとかけて。夜は冷える。
お待たせ。案外準備に手間取っちゃってさ。
Oh, they're bringing Nick. Hanji's not letting Nick out her sight.
なぜウォル教の司祭が？
ああ、ニックとは友達なんだよ。ねえ。
I wouldn't either.
気にしない気にしない。この班の編成自体よくわからなくはあるんだし。ね、リヴァイ。
いや、意味はある。エルヴィンがこいつらを選んだんだからな。
行くぞ！
The music. Mwah. Mwah. Every time.
僕たちはずっと巨人によって巨人から守られていた。
But why? But why have the Titans been protecting humans from other Titans? Unless there's like an evil faction of Titans.
壁の中に巨人がいることをこの人は知っていたんですか？
ああ、でもそれを今までずっと黙っていた。彼は我々に同行し、現状を見てもなお
But how does
原
Nick
則に従っ
know?
て口を閉ざし続けるのか。自分の目で見て自分に問うらしい。
いや、それはおかしいでしょ。何か知っていることがあったら話してくださいよ。人類の滅亡を防ぐ以上に重要なことなんてないでしょ。
エレン、
Aaron's like,
まだ巨人化の後遺症が。
質問の仕方はいろいろある。俺は今怪我で役立たずかもしれんが、こいつ一人を見張ることぐらいできる。くれぐれもうっかり体に穴が開いちまうことがないようにしたいな。
oh,
お互
Levi.
い。
脅しは聞かないよ、リヴァイ。もう試した。彼が口を閉ざすには人類滅亡より重要な理由があるのかもしれない。
Like what though?
見えましたね。あの村です。
あそこで最後か。
いえ、奥の森に私の村があります。
We get to learn more about SASHA. I'm so excited.
さあさあ、また食料あさってから。こら、食うな。食うのやめんか。
He's hungry. Jesus Christ.
このバカ娘。もういい。好きにせえ。
She's very animalistic, isn't she, at times?
サシャ、お前はこの世界がどうなってるか考えたことはあるんか？
そんな、よそ者が来て森や獲物を横取りするからやし。だから腹減る。
その人たちも住処を奪われ、仕方なくここに流れてきとる。
奪われたもんが悪い。はよ出てけばいいに。
奪ったんは巨人ぞ。ウォールマリアの壁穴開けられて他に行き場があるんか？我々の一族も狩りをやめ森を明け渡すべきなんかもしれん。王政からな、対価を支払う代わりに馬を育てると言われておる。
そんな、狩りをやめたら私たちじゃなくなるやろ。なんで私らをバカにしている奴らのためにそんなことせんといかんの。
そりゃあな、我々は世界に生かしてもらっとるからな。
It's about sacrificing for the greater
群れで生
good.
きる動物なんじゃ。違う生き方をしている人間で限られた環境の中じゃ同じ群れに入って人と関わっていかんけりゃ。
いやって私たちはご先祖様に生き方を教えてもらって生きてきたんやから。よそ者に受けた恩なんかないよ。
一生この森の中で自分や同族のみの価値観で生きてい
He's
く。
gonna leave, isn't he?
けどなあサシャ、それと心中する覚悟はあるんか？これからどんな危機に見舞われてん助けを請うてはならんとぞ。義務を果たさんもんがその恩恵を受けることができんのは当然やからな。伝統を捨ててでも一族と共に生きたいと思っとる。世界がつながってることも受け入れなければならん。
I get where she's coming from. Like, that's their heritage. That's all she's ever known. And it must be so incredibly terrifying to have to give that up and embrace something different. It's almost kind of similar to the rise in industrialization. There were people that struggled to come to terms with the way that the world was modernizing because it's not the world that they knew and grew up with. So it's almost like this conflict between adapting and modernizing and tradition and heritage. So I can understand like the two conflicting arguments because obviously her family tradition, her family's heritage, this is where her ancestors began, this is all she's ever known, and she's expected to give that up in order to accommodate for people who maybe don't share that same respect for the land that she does because it's not sentimental to them. But at the same time, her father's also correct that you can't expect people to help you if you're not willing to help others. If you're not going to work with people, they're not going to work with you. And that he would rather give this up and be able to live a happy life with his family than risk dying for something, especially because the government have offered to pay them money in order to take the land so that they can use it to sustain the influx of people. So I get where he's coming from. In his mind, he just wants his family to be healthy and happy and he just wants them fed. Whereas Sasha is clinging to that tradition and that heritage of their way of life, of what their family has always been, and having to adapt to something new is scary. So I can see both perspectives, but again, I think it's just a really good example of utilitarianism that the show promotes quite deeply, which is the greater good for the greatest amount of people over individualistic needs of I do what is good for me and me alone. So it really promotes the more we should think about the choices that we make in life, that we should be doing what brings the greatest amount of good and happiness to others instead of prioritizing what benefits the minority of people. So yeah, utilitarianism is all about the greatest amount of good for the greatest amount of people, even if that means sacrificing people. So to put it in perspective, you could argue was the way they were thinking when they sent the refugees to try and take back War Maria. It was in their minds culling the refugees, cut down on the food crisis that was arising. So it was seen as the greater good for the majority. But again, it's morally grey because the greatest amount of good for the majority of people may also have horrible consequences, and being willing to sacrifice a whole host of people in order to ensure that the majority were fed. So totalitarianism isn't always a positive. It has very morally grey outcomes, and I think the show does a fantastic job of showing that, especially if we think back to season 1 and we have Levi giving Eren the choice between transforming or trusting his squad. He pretty much says that nobody can make this choice for you. I can't tell you what's right or wrong. It has to be the choice that you can live with. It has to be the choice you feel less guilty about. And the show seems to really drive that home, that the choices we make should be the ones that we are willing to live with the consequences of. I love this show. I love how deep this show is. It really makes you think. And yeah, I'm sorry, I've gone on a rant, but just because the show is phenomenal. I love it so much. Oh no. What the fuck? What is going on in this show? In addition to the cities at the walls, there exist villages of various sizes contained within the walls. They exist to provide goods and food to the people in the cities, though containing a higher population overall. At first I thought that was a titan. It's just like a very small titan, but it looks too human-like, which is making me think perhaps this village has begun to starve and are cannibalizing each other. Like, because it was eating her, but Titans don't need to eat to survive, so... No, it is a Titan. Is it? Yeah, no, it is. It is a Titan. It's just a very small, very human-looking Titan. But why is it eating her so slowly? That's so odd.
もう大丈夫ですよきっと何かその
It's gonna run. Fuck.
走ってください大丈夫ですからなんでもうみんな逃げちゃったよ村の人母さんが足悪いの知ってた
So they just left.
誰も助けてくれない
Oh my god.
私もただ見てた
This poor child.
大丈夫ですからね大丈夫です
そろそろうぜんだが。はい。お前のそのバカ丁寧な喋り方だ。待て、当ててやろう。お前、故郷の言葉が恥ずかしいんだろう。
Oh no.
意外と気にするんだな、お前。バカのくせに。狩猟以外のこと何にも知らなくて、世間や人が怖いんだな。大方親にでも。
ちょっとユミルいい
サシャ、お前はずっと人の目を気にして作った自分で生きてくつもりかよ。
Her name's Waimea. Maybe I'm overthinking, but it's the same spelling as Lady Waimea. Is there a connection? Oh.
なんだくだらないね。
Go
お
Krista.
前はお前で、お前の言葉で話せよ。
やめなよ人に言われて話し方変える必要ないよ
Yes, Krista.
これがサシャが決めたサシャなんだから今だってありのままの言葉でしょ
I'm so glad we're
私はそれ
seeing
が好きだよ
more of Sasha and
この言い
Krista.
ようだな。ま、今さら口を変えられたところで、鬱陶しいことには変わらないか。
あのね誰しもがユミルみたいに無神経
And
じゃないの
standing up for herself as well.
おい、お前何笑ってんだ。
Oh, Sasha.
大丈夫だからこの道を走って弱くてもいいからあなたを助けてくれる人は必ずいるすぐには会えないかもしれないけどそれでも会えるまで走ってさあ行って走って
Oh, Sasha.
走らんかい
Oh, Sasha.
両目を潰せば格段に時間を稼げる
Come on, Sasha, please.
日本落ち着けあの獲物は大きくて動きが呪いやった
Come on, Sasha.
あと一本もしこれを外せば逃げられない外したら私と
Sasha, please, come on. Yes, my girl. Yes, my girl. Come on, Sasha.
って助かった。あの子を探さないと。
Please let that little girl be okay. She's her dad. And they have the little girl as well. Oh.
この一帯の人々に馬を与えて回っとった。あの子がこっちに人がまだおると教えてくれてな。それがまさかお前だったとは。あの子のために巨人と戦っとったんだな。サシャ、立派になったな。
お父さん。ただいま。
Oh God.
待てコニー、落ち着け。どこに巨人がいるかわからんぞ。一旦下がれコニー。誰かいないか。俺だ、コニーだ。帰ってきたぞ。俺んち。
All Connie wanted to do was come home and see his family.
ソニー、マーティン、頼む、みんな。コニー、下がれ。俺の家だ。俺の。コニー、お前らは下がってろ。
周囲を警戒しろ。
動けないのか。
あの手足では。
じゃあこいつどうやってここまで来たんだ。
What the fuck is happening? I'm so confused. Oh. I'm so happy that Sasha had her moment. Like, I've been rooting for Sasha to have a moment, and I'm so happy that she had it, and that, like, it was a positive, and she got reunited with her dad, and her dad is proud of her. God, it's the second episode. I'm already crying. This is not going to bode well for the rest of season 2, is it? I hope Connie's family got out. There's no one there, and that's either a good sign that people already evacuated, or a bad sign that everyone's been consumed. But the fact that the Titan with the little legs has fallen on the building, how did it get there? Because it couldn't have walked. I genuinely don't know. God, this episode was everything I wanted for Sasha and more. She's got her confidence back. She took down, well, didn't take it down, but blinded it to save a little girl. She was able to rescue somebody. She was able to redeem herself, redeem her confidence. Her father was going above and beyond to help people. He was giving them horses to get away, showing that they did eventually give up their lifestyle to some degree, whether that happened before Sasha left or while Sasha was training, because she always said like their family was deep in the forest, and then obviously this was like a new village that she was kind of shocked by. So I don't know if maybe they gave it up and that's when she went to become a soldier, or if it happened while she was training. But either way, just I wasn't, that Titan was so human looking that I was a bit confused at first. I was like, is it a Titan? Especially because it's so small. I forget that some Titans are actually like kind of tiny. And from the angle of the girl, it kind of looked more like a man, like just a human man. So I was a bit like thrown. I can understand the need for self-preservation, but the fact that they had time to flee and nobody came to help, knowing that her mom had bad legs and couldn't, and knowing that she had a child as well, is just horrible. Like, I don't understand how anyone could do that. Like, I get the need for self-preservation, but to knowingly sign someone's death warrant by refusing to help and also signing the death warrant of a child is just, frankly, disgusting. I have no clue what is happening in this show. I swear to God, every time I think I know what's going on, my mind ends up in 25 different locations. This is phenomenal already. Like, jeez. This season is so good. It's already making me cry, which is not a good sign. But if you enjoyed this episode, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next time, bye!